We are the Blue Jays and we're doing a business case study.
Our case study. Our case study revolves around the idea of developing pre-existing services to use those surplus profits for the development of the student market and fulfilling its potential. As we know, the pandemic has wreaked havoc on the travel and tourism industry, and therefore, international tourist arrivals fell by 22% in the first quarter of 2020, as recorded by the UN. Um, we also know people are working online nowadays, and they don't have a proper working environment. That's why people's productivity has decreased by a lot. Will address these issues later on in the PPT and also file some recommendations. The As we know, there's an estimated job loss of 63.4 million people in the Asia Pacific region and 108 million in total.
Our business plan. Our mission is to increase the growth of the student market without neglecting the other markets. Target market are students all around the Shenzhen area who want to travel abroad to pursue their passion. VFS is not the only company in the Shenzhen area. The top four competitors are CIBT, Transform, Ola Meter, and the Cox Media Group.
How can VFS best utilize the resources to monetize the growing student market in the next 5 to 10 years? Concentration on potential regions. If VFS concentrates on potential fill regions such as Singapore, which has many viable universities which attract students all over the world, this results in prevention of spreading the resources too thinly and makes complementary resources available. Introduction of new schemes, offers, and packages. After purchasing a certain service from VFS, such as government services or tourism services, each each service should give off items along with the purchase. For better understanding, VFS currently offers consultation on touristic locations. Instead, VFS can provide packages of their own, which include consultation, travel guides, bookings for hotels for the desired customer.
Introduction of modern inputs. In the next 5 to 10 years, the tech industry will be able to mass produce machines capable of handling operations in VFS, which will help the company shift from a labor intensive company to a capital intensive company. Creation of services for returning customers. VFS can introduce many new various membership schemes which can help keep customer loyal and keep them returning to VFS. Growing expanding market research. Marketing research is very important as it helps determine the most appropriate method of selling goods.
Improving customer service. As we know, feedback forms can be given out and the customer is required to fill in the form, and therefore he can write down his preferences, complaints, or whatever. This will help VFS understand the market way better and increase profits over the long term. Alteration of the business structure. As we know, VFS is a private company and has no existence in stock market whatsoever. This leads to limited scope of expansion, and if they would shift themselves to a joint stock company format, they will accumulate a lot of capital and there will be a phenomenal growth. This can be later used for potential markets such as the student market itself.
How will this business plan vary by geographic region? In the UK and Shenzhen area, students are less likely to leave the country for residence, as the UK and Shenzhen have amazing education. Hence, the cost of visa for leaving the country, for students particularly, should be less. Whereas in countries such as Nigeria, Ethiopia, Guinea, the prices of leaving should also be less, encouraging the people to purchase more visas, which increases the customer base of VFS. Top sending countries such as India, France, China, or USA also send students for higher education to countries such as the Shenzhen or the UK. This means that places such as UK or Shenzhen, where VFS is more control, the price can be lower compared to countries such as US or Canada, where there is more competition. This is the bar graph on countries which have good education. These countries are more likely to receive students from different countries. Spain, Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, and Greece are all part of the Schengen area. This means that the Schengen in UK also has great education and students are more likely to immigrate to them. The influx and outflux of foreign students in the UK is very different. And the inflow of students is a lot more compared to the outflow because of the great education.
To what extent should VFS prioritize the student market as opposed to the other services? Student market is one of the biggest markets in this current age. People in villages are also receiving education. More students and people are encouraged to graduate from colleges and universities. Before the pandemic, VFS services were very lucrative, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it has come to a stop. Services such as tourism and e-visa distribution has taken a big loss. To recover from that loss by the pandemic, the student market is one of the biggest opportunities for VFS to make profit. Every year there's a demand for visas. It will always be a requirement. After the pandemic, the world will change. As we can see from the graph above, we see in 2016 that the student market is steadily growing.
How can VFS leverage their existing services to stimulate the student market? As we know, this idea revolves around the concept of developing pre-existing services and using the surplus profit, which is known as leverage, to invest into the emerging student market. For example, the tourist sector of the company suppose makes an annual surplus profit of 25 million. This cash is used as investment capital to monetize the student market later on. Can VFS introduce new services or products to reach the same goal? Yes. For us, the answer is yes. VFS can introduce new services and packages, as we said earlier in the PPT. This will help monetize the student market.
Considering the ramifications of COVID-19, how can VFS maintain sales and profits in the short term while bettering the customer experience? Customers nowadays require fast service production, and in case of emergencies, their need is left unfulfilled. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the customer mindset has completely changed, and people prefer to stay at home and order services in their comfort. The CRM software is an emerging concept, which helps in providing useful insights on customers the VFS desires. Issues are faced in every aspect of online customer services. Hence, to resolve these issues, faster troubleshooting and response to problems will smoothen the services.
Possible partnerships with students. Parents are also likely to travel along during their first visit. Students are also likely to carry extra baggage. Taking advantage of this, VFS can partner with many airlines. Example, merits for this the extra complimentary service for a minimum charge.
All right. So the final question: how much profit and revenue can be recommended? Till now, all our solutions have been fundamental, but we have been able to come up with two technical solutions to this. The first one being the student membership. Basically, this says that the purpose of the visit, the customer can purchase a membership if it is inclined to anything related to education. The customer is given a 7% discount for the next visa renewal, only for the Shenzhen market. If this policy is applied right, suppose we take a random figure because we didn't have the figures available on the internet. 2 million of 8 million students in the Shenzhen area went to VFS for visas without offers. Due to offering, estimated increase of students is around 20%. So that totals about to 3.6 million students. The profit estimated is around 84.4 million pounds. The second policy is the business membership. After stating the purpose of visit, the customer can purchase a membership which is inclined to travel related to business only. This customer is given a 5% discount on the next visa visit. If we use this policy, this will also help, generating profits.
Our figures are feasible, and if VFS considers the business plan made by a team, the profits are considerable. The issue at hand, which was the growth and monetization of the student market, is resolved by implementing a plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.